It's time to get excited about growing older because I'm going to explain to you why 50 is the new 18. Hi, I'm Shelley. This is Fabulous 50s, a lifestyle channel that explores fashion, beauty and lifestyle for women over 50. And if you're a woman over 50, click subscribe and click the bell and you'll be alerted every time there's a new video and they'll all relate to you. Today I'm going to touch on a very big topic for women in our age group. I want to talk about the transition that we're all going through now that we're in our 50s. And I want to talk about what that means and shine a light on the similarities between our 18-year-old selves and our 50-year-old selves. Because I believe that there's something here that we've all been missing. At 18, our bodies are going through this massive hormonal change. And then again at 50, we're going through a very similar change. We all know about it, right? We're right in the middle of menopause, and this is nature's way of preparing us for what's next. At 18, we transition from being part of our family to being more independent and self-focused. We still love our family, but when we get to 18, it's time to go out and start focusing on ourselves. And when we enter into our 50s, we enter another big transition. Our life conditions change, our families change, and pretty much we change. So this becomes a new time in our life, and just like our 18-year-old self, we have a desire to be more independent and self-focused. Menopause is a natural transition in a woman's life, and we're meant to begin a new life around the biological marker of our last period. And for most women, that's at age 52. This statement was written by Dr Christiane Northrup, who is an expert in menopause and like our stage of life. In fact, Dr. Northrup says at the age of 52, we feel like we've experienced the death of our old self. It happens to men and women, but as women, we've got to take time to feel all this change and to process it. So we've got to take lots of self-care, lots of rest, lots of being by ourselves to work out what's going on. And the big thing we've got to do is accept ourselves for who we are right now, because everything you do and everything you say and think actually matters. Life at 18 is daunting, yes, but it's so exciting because we have no idea what's ahead and we're literally starting from scratch to reinvent ourselves as an adult. And life at 50 seems to be just daunting. We forget to get excited about it. Just like at 18, we've got no idea of what's ahead of us. We see that as a huge disadvantage, but it doesn't have to be. It appears that society is feeding back to us that we don't matter anymore. But maybe we just think that we don't matter. And there are so many of us in our age group who are feeling lost because we can't really work out where we fit in anymore. I just recently had a comment in my private Facebook group, and a lady wrote that she was struggling because the children had grown up and she didn't know where she fit in. She feels like she's really lost her sense of self. And she got dozens and dozens of comments from women who are in our age group. They weren't only offering support, which they did, but they're offering solutions too. So like the struggle is real, yes, but there are solutions too. We've got to let go of the stuff we're hanging on to and treat yourself as somebody who matters. Decide what you want and then take one step every day to get where you want to go. I know for a fact that we weren't born to be paralyzed in fear, and we weren't born to lock ourselves inside and not interact with the rest of the world. And we certainly weren't born to beat up on ourselves for things that we haven't achieved or things we haven't done or things we got wrong. We are here though to make a difference, to create, to contribute, to have fun. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Let that go. What matters now, today, is what we can plan for the future. And whatever we're planning for the future is happening in the present with the thoughts we're thinking about ourselves and the thoughts we're thinking about others. You came here for a reason and you have a purpose. And if you're not going to make changes now at 50 or 55 or 60, when are you going to? We're biologically designed to start a new life at age 52. Our bodies were made that way and nature is never wrong. We're still the same person as we were when we were 18. We're just better, smarter, and wiser. You couldn't even imagine when you were 18 that you'd know what you know today. Think about your 18-year-old self as a a circle, a two-dimensional object. Now see yourself at 50, you're still the same person, you're still a circle, but your circle is layered with all of your life experiences, love, joy, heartache, pain, happiness, wins, losses, and through all of those experiences, you have become so much more. And all of those experiences combined become a sphere. We're a beautiful, complex, rich, deep, layered sphere. And we're thinking that's a bad thing. No, this is what we've got to celebrate. I remember seeing my mum at this age, around when she was 50. She didn't do what she wanted to do because she felt obliged and she felt fearful. And I think for her, one of her big things was she felt dutiful. And we wanted her to go off and have lots of adventures, but she just couldn't get past the fear of doing that because her duty was to be a wife and to be a mother. But we were all grown up. We just wanted to see her having some fun. And she honestly thought that my dad wouldn't be okay if she went traveling because he wouldn't be able to make his dinner or his lunch. And that's crazy because I look back on that and that's helped shape who I've become. She had this burning passion inside of her to get out there and just do life once we'd grown up. But I'm so sad that she didn't get to do that and she took her regrets with her. I really wish that she had the courage to let go of her fear and let go of her guilt and just do what she wanted to do. And I am sure if she had her time again, she would have done it very differently. So treat yourself as someone who actually matters because you do. So here is where we are. It's time to tell a different story. Something that we can all do starting today is self-care. Just take it in baby steps, and if guilt is one of your things, start doing something little every single day just for you. Start planning your future, start deciding what you want to be when you grow up. And guess what? We don't need permission from anybody else. I think most people get stuck like my mum did because she needed to give herself permission, but she couldn't just take that next step. My mum thought that it mattered what everybody else thought, and she was only processing what she thought they thought through her filters. And that's why I say you don't need another person's permission for you to do what you want to do. You're 50 or 60 or 70. We don't need permission anymore. This is all about us. This is our time. It's time for self after 50. Many of us have spent the last 30 years caring for and looking after others for all this time, putting everybody else first, putting ourselves last, working hard, striving, trying to be perfect, trying to get everything done, trying to raise decent human beings. And in all of that, we get lost in ourselves. And that's why the lady in my Facebook group feels lost, because she, like many of us, have just spent our lives doing that. So who are we when that's all gone? That's the question. That's what we have to work out, and that's what we have to make a conscious decision to decide who are we going to be and what are we going to do about it. So 50 really is the new 18, just better. It's your time to shine. Please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and share it with any of your girlfriends who are going through menopause. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful week.